Hi guys, it's Conomics here, and today is the 15th of June, and quite an important day actually, because I think I've maybe mentioned this on a video that I did a couple of hours ago, but today, Nikki, is a very special day, not just because you the former head girl of Emmanuel College, have returned, but also because I've just received today my 1000th subscriber. So thank you, subscribers, for all your support and that. So let's get back to today then, Nikki. Former head girl, and come back just to do a little interview here with regard to your experience at school, and also what you've gone on to do since school, etc. Yeah. So welcome back to college.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's good to be back.
Good, good. I know that the last time you were here you enjoyed seeing around and seeing your former teachers and so on.
Yes, having a bit of a look around, looking at the new building, seeing all the old faces again. That was good.
Good,
yeah.
Good. So, you were head girl in 2002, 2003, is that correct?
I was, yes.
So could you maybe just, first of all, there'll be lots of Emmanuel students obviously be tuning into this, and
obviously
it's good to have a role model like yourself, a female role model especially for the girls in college. So you were a head girl 2002, 2003. Could you maybe just tell us a little bit about the subjects that you studied for A-level, and then what you went on to do after A-level?
Yeah. So I chose to do English language, maths, economics.
Good choice.
And I chose, at the time it was ASPE, so you could only do it in your second year of sixth form. I chose them because at the time I really wanted to be a PE teacher. I wanted to go on, and I loved being down in the PE department when I was here, and that's what I wanted to be. So when I left college, I went to Liverpool Hope University to do education studies and sports studies. But when I was down there I realised it wasn't what I wanted to do, because while I'd been in the holidays once I'd left year 11, I'd got a job as a play worker for Gateshead Council, and every summer I'd done that. So when I'd gone down to university, I realised that I didn't want to do the education route.
Yes.
So I came back up to Newcastle and went to Northumbria University to do a joint honours degree in disability studies and children play and play work. Right. And once I did my degree, I got my job full-time with Gateshead Council Play Service, and I've been there ever since.
It's interesting because it's quite a brave thing to do, isn't it? To go and start on a course and then decide, oh well, actually this isn't for me, I'm going to change my plans. Yeah,
it was a really hard decision, because when I went down there, I loved the topics I was studying, but when I was looking into what I wanted to do in the future, I couldn't see myself doing that. Even though I'd loved sport and I'd loved everything I did here.
You couldn't see yourself back here with Mr. Ingham and the PE department?
I don't think they'd have us. Right. No, but I did love working with children and young people, in the job that I did at the time for the play service, and that's what inspired us to go for the second degree that I did.
Right, okay. So, and so did you do, all in all, was that 4 years at university that you would have done, or?
It was 5 in total.
Oh really?
I did 2 in Liverpool, because it was the second year when we'd started to really focus on the subjects that I realised that it wasn't something I wanted to do. So then after my second year down there, I came home and went on to the course up at Northumbria.
Okay, so did the course at Northumbria, the course that you really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth noting, isn't it, that for some people they may go on to, lots of students in the sixth form I think feel that their only option is the university.
Yeah.
So they maybe go to university and end up doing a course which maybe is potentially not the one for them. It's quite a brave decision to step out of that and to move into something else. Or do something totally different.
Yeah, I think you do feel a bit of pressure to pick certain routes, and I think it's really difficult when you're 16 choosing subjects to do for your future, and then 18 when you leave school knowing what it is that you want to do. I think it's really difficult, and I'm glad I'm not there again.
Yeah, so it's interesting. What exposure did you have at school to sort of potential careers, if any?
Well, we had the careers advice, but I think I didn't have a lot of work experience at all. I played a lot.
Summer.
Yeah, because I played a lot of sports, so I didn't have a part-time job, or I wasn't. Everything I did revolved around sports. So I think it almost felt a natural progression to go into a job along those lines. And I think it was kind of because I thought, oh, I'd really enjoy it. I enjoy it at the minute. I felt like an easy choice to make. But then when I went down to university and I started studying it, I realised it wasn't something for me. But I know there's other routes, you know, out there, and getting a bit of work experience of volunteering is definitely a good idea, even just to have a taster to see if it is something that you might consider doing.
And we're going to maybe touch on that whole aspect of volunteering a little bit later. Yes. So you did that at university, and then so how did you then find your way into the job that you've been doing? You've been doing the job that you're doing
since
today
I was 16.
Since then, haven't you, really?
Yeah, so I played netball and hockey for Gateshead, and as part of that, one of the women who ran the netball team had some jobs coming up in the summer for casual staff, and she asked us to apply, and I started working there on a very casual basis, doing sessions on a Friday night after school at the leisure centre and doing summer work, and I loved it. It was working with young people with all abilities, so it was young people with disabilities from, you know, different backgrounds we had, so it opened my eyes massively to, you know, kind of the world, I suppose. And when I was working with those children, I felt like I really felt as though I was making a difference. So that's why I ended up sticking with that job. And then as I've gone on and I went to Liverpool, I realised, you know, what I was doing in the summers was what I would prefer to do kind of longer term. So that's why I looked for the course up here.
Right, okay.
I looked for that instead.
And so for anybody who's potentially watching and thinking to themselves, oh well, I'm quite sporty and I'd like to make a difference in other people's lives as well. What sort of skills and qualifications would they necessarily require to get into that line of work?
Well, for the skills, I'd say if you get out there and get experience of working with children and young people, from our point of view of, you know, different age groups, different backgrounds, in different settings. So sometimes it's kind of after school clubs, sometimes it's sports clubs, getting to know what kind of environment you like to work with those children in. So volunteering, workplaces, but you've got to have that, you've got to build up that level of communication with children and young people and with their families. It's being able to work as a team, but also as an individual while you're in the room with the children. It's being responsible and reliable, you know, turning up when you say you're going to, punctual, being professional, so having that level of when you're working with the children and people and being that role model for them. Yeah. So, yeah, I think those are the
as you were when you were head girl at Emmanuel College, Nikki, yeah?
I try.
Yes. So, and then to come back to the point about, you were talking about the volunteering part of things, how important is that?
I think experience and having a level of understanding and knowledge around the subject that you want to work in is valued quite highly when you're going for a job. I know that when we interview for jobs, although it's, you know, asking have they got any qualifications in either child development or in some form of working with children and young people, you know, doing they might be working towards being a teacher. That's what we've had in the past. So it's having a qualification linked to working with children and young people, but it's the experience that we really, really look for. It's, you know, have they got the desire to work and put themselves out there and get to know what it is that they're looking for.
And I know that you work in the public sector, so
yes.
With Gateshead Council. Is there an equivalent in the private sector as well? Are there sort of private sector providers of similar services?
There is private providers who go out, but theirs is more targeted. So it might be a sport camp, or a arts and crafts camp, or a dance camp, or, you know, something more focused. Whereas ours is quite a wide variety. So we offer a chance for children to come along, and everything's child-led that we deliver. We work as a team to plan and keep everything safe when the children are there. There is some out there, but not to the same level, and we're very inclusive. We have a lot of children with disabilities, we have a lot of children from varying backgrounds attend our schemes, and I know that other schemes sometimes don't have that.
Mm-hmm. And you'll know, Nikki, from your times of studying A-level economics, I'm sure you remember it. We've just been through times of fiscal austerity and lots of cutbacks and
yes.
Expenditures and so on. So in terms of people getting into this area of work at the moment,
yeah.
What's the demand like? And
well, we take on new staff every year,
right.
because we've got a casual pool of workers who help deliver the play schemes that we run, mainly in the holidays. So the turnover of our staff, I mentioned before how some of them are trained to be teachers. A lot of our staff are kind of college or university students,
right.
And it's kind of while they're studying that this is their part-time job. So we are always looking for new staff, and we offer training specific to the role, including safeguarding, health and safety, policies and procedures. We'll look at a range of different things, and it links to the children who we work with. And we usually put our advert out in kind of January time, because by the time we do the shortlisting and the interview process and getting DBS clearance in order to work with the children, it takes quite a while, right. And then to put the training in place. So kind of January, February time is when we advertise each year, but volunteers can come in any time of the year as long as they're over 16, and they can help support our...
And how would they arrange that?
If you go to the Gateshead Council website, there's a volunteering link, and it links on, and you've got to fill in an expression of interest form, and that gets sent to a lady called Kate Marshall, and she filters through the volunteers, and she sends them to the right people. So sometimes people will write on that they want to work with children and young people, or they might specifically mention the play service, and then that gets sent through to me, and I arrange that. Right,
because we've got at the moment actually, I think it's year 12, I think, are possibly arranging or thinking about arranging their work experience and so on, so they'd have to do that quite a time in advance, would they?
Well, the volunteers go through the council, but the work experience, the work placements can come straight to us directly.
Right. Okay.
So they can just contact the play service at Gateshead Council, and we can arrange with them and the school as to when they would come in and what they would do when they're out with us.
Okay. And is that something that you do?
Yeah, we've had them in the past come out. Sometimes when they come out in term time, it's a bit more of the planning side of it, rather than the delivery, so they get to see what goes into everything rather than actually being involved, you know, delivering the activities to the young people. But it's good sometimes to see that planning side of it. Yeah.
Okay, everyone, there's a contact for you at Gateshead Council if you're thinking about work experience. Right, well, I think that was quite a painless process, wasn't it, Nikki?
Yeah, quite painless.
Yeah. So can I just take this opportunity to thank you for coming in to do this?
Thanks for having us.
And as ever, everybody, keep subscribing and stay tuned for the next episode. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye.